You may be in a great place today, not hurting or suffering under the weight of any type of oppression. But there are some who are watching that are under oppression. So that means we all are. And we take this psalm upon our lips for the sake of our brothers and sisters who are hurting today. Welcome to Life Words Day by Day. Psalm 123 is the psalm we're speaking of, and notice what it says in verse 3. Have mercy upon us, O Lord. Have mercy upon us, for we have had more than enough of contempt. Our soul has had more than enough of the scorn of those who are at ease, of the contempt of the proud. You may notice a subtle shift in the language. The shift from I and my in verse 1 to our and we in this verse. This psalm of ascent takes on a corporate nature. And it reminds us that when our brothers and sisters suffer, we all suffer. That we are to rejoice with those who rejoice, and we are to weep for those who weep. So remember, this is a song sung by the many. It's teaching us about worship. And worship is not about me, it's about we, about us, approaching a holy, majestic, worthy God who cares about your heartaches and hurts, who hears every cry of our soul. So lift your eyes to Jesus today and boldly take your cares and concerns and confusions to Him. He sits on the highest throne, and He was placed there in a most remarkable way. In the book of Revelation, the Apostle John is escorted around heaven. And early on in the book, there was a moment of great sadness because no one could be found who was sovereign enough to take the scrolls of history and execute the plan of God. But then someone told John, "Weep no more. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, has conquered, so that He can open the scroll and its 7 seals." And then John tells us that he saw a lamb standing as though it had been slain. That's an odd description of Jesus. But you see, Jesus faced the contempt of the proud. He too faced people who hated Him and tried to ease their own soul by destroying His. He too, when His head was heavy with despair and sweat and His own blood, lifted His eyes to a higher throne. And He too looked to the Father's hand like a servant to a master. And He too prayed for mercy, for relief. But He was not delivered from it. He asked for a different way out. But when the Father signaled to Jesus, it was for Jesus to go to the cross and suffer our punishment, to pay for our guilt and to bear our penalty. And Jesus went willingly, obediently. And He endured the shame of the cross, took on even more mocking. He took on the punishment and then suffered the wages of sin, which is death. But then Jesus received a different kind of relief. He received resurrection relief. He was released from death. He endured without the mercy of God so that we can enjoy the mercy of God. Without Jesus' sacrifice and victory over death, then we have no standing with God, and He does not respond compassionately to our cries for mercy. But since we have Jesus, then when we lift our eyes to God, we see that He is already looking upon us in mercy. And because of that, we can wait, we can endure, we can persevere, and we will rely upon His Word. So today, please pray for Stephen Schrader and his family, our missionaries in Papua New Guinea. And also remember the Western Kron Life Word broadcast in the Ivory Coast and Liberia.